What you guys are missing, and Shannon probably knows it better than anybody else, is the game is a team sport. So individuals don't win championships, teams win championships. You know, and you're only as good as the team can take you. You can only go as far as the team can take you. So 3 and 5 doesn't mean anything. I'm more impressed with 8 finals than I am with the record in the finals.
I'm with
you,
Doc.
If he was 0 for 8 in finals, that would still be an amazing achievement. That's like going to 8 Super Bowls.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that disturbs me is, one thing about the world is that, you know, statistics is there. They say Michael and Magic and Larry did it by themselves. They did not do it by themselves. No one has done it by themselves. Go check the numbers, go look at the teams. You know, they talk about LeBron diminishing his brand because he decided to team up with 2 other great players. Everybody has done it. So I just don't like false reports. I don't care about, you know, people saying what they're gonna say, but at least get it right.
You know, when you play this game, you're lucky enough to be on a team that can compete for a title. You could do everything right, and you could have 40 points, 20 rebounds, 10 blocks, 10 assists, 10 steals. But if your teammate misses 2 free throws, you don't win that title. And so when you're looking at a team sport, you can't go by individual titles. I truly believe that because of that concept. It's not golf or tennis. But if you're lucky enough to be on the team that's good enough to win, it doesn't get any better.
But then if I get the rest of the guys laughing at him, he'll always bring the winner thing up. How many rings you got? He always throws that up at me. I mean, I wasn't lucky enough to play with Scottie Pippen.
Are you like his...
You know what? Man, if I had Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman, I would have won some too.
Let me ask you this, though.
So you didn't like your teammates?
I love my teammates. They just wasn't as good as Scottie and Dennis.
I contend Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player who ever lived. I would put you number 2, only because you only won 2 championships. He played below the rim, and you basically played above the rim.
I thought Michael was known for playing above the rim.
He shoots now the jump shots. He's going to win 5 world championships, and you had players on your team that you could have won.
I have a friend of mine. I have a friend of mine who I talk to about once a week. You know what he says about Michael's 4 championships? He doesn't say anything about it. Because he has 11.
Bill Russell.
Bill Russell.
But this is amazing.
And you don't, wait a minute, and you don't say he's the greatest because he has 11 championships. Casey Jones has 10. I don't think, you know, you can predicate how great a guy really is or because he has championships. There's a lot of guys on those championship teams who've done nothing.
Said this week about you and Kobe and those particulars surrounding Michael Jordan. What are those? Have you heard about Jordan's comments?
Yeah, I heard. My take on it, I don't really have a take on it. He said he would take Kobe over me because, you know, 6 was 5 rings is better than 1, and last time he checked 5 is better than 1. You know, but that's his own opinion. You know, I don't think at the end of the day rings doesn't always define someone's career. If that's the case, then, you know, I would sit up here and say I would take Russell over Jordan, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't take Russell over Jordan. Russell has 11 rings, Jordan has 6. Or I'd take Robert Horry over Kobe. I wouldn't do that. So, but it's your own personal opinion. Rings does not define someone's career. You look at a guy like, I said it last night, like Jud Bushler, who has multiple rings. Charles Barkley doesn't have 1 ring. He's not better than Charles Barkley. Patrick Ewing is one of the greatest of all time. Reggie Miller is one of the greatest of all time. You know, sometimes it's a situation that you're in, it's the team that you're in, and it's about timing as well. But I don't play the game and try to define who I am over what guys say or how they feel about me. It doesn't matter to me. I go out and I play for my family, I play for my teammates, I play for the coaching staff, and I play for our fans, and that's it.
Is that bulletin board material for you?
I don't need bulletin board material for it. My inspiration is the game that I love. I don't need nobody to pick me or not.
Is Michael Jordan using counting rings as a metric for success just a way to sort of solidify his own legacy?
Yes, but also for fans, for media, and for players, that logic is so tired.
So flawed.
And also, just look at it this way. Robert Horry, who was never an All-Star, who's not in the Hall of Fame, has more rings than Michael
Jordan. Robert Horry has 7. Tommy Heinsohn has 9, I think. You've got, Bill Russell out there, Casey Jones, John Havlicek. Like, this whole counting the rings thing is just so dumbed down and sophomoric. I'd use that word again for some reason. It's just flawed. And also, I kind of feel like he is picking Kobe over LeBron because he's somewhat threatened by LeBron. LeBron James's last season was phenomenal. His finals performance was like nothing we've ever seen before from a basketball player. And I feel that there's a little piece of Michael Jordan that's threatened by LeBron James. Do you agree?
Absolutely. But also, we have to respect the fact that LeBron James was the best player on every team that he had that won the championship.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably been the best player on every team he's ever played on. It's hard, especially earlier in his career. Can you name 2 of the starters that went to the finals when they lost to the Spurs?
Oh, like Ilgauskas, I'm gonna say, and Boogie Gibson.
My point exactly. So Kobe Bryant was he was traded to the Lakers, but they're a storied franchise. He got a chance to play with Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille O'Neal, great player. Not Ilgauskas. I would take
Robert
Shaquille
Horry.
over Ilgauskas.
Be coached by Phil Jackson. Play with Pau Gasol. So while LeBron James continues to ascend, and it can be viewed as neck and neck right now if you're going to say who's better all time between the two, but the logic, again, is dumbed down when you just say because he has more rings, he's a better player.
By the way, Mike, Bill Russell got 12 or 11, 12. What do you got? You got 6. You're better than Bill Russell. And Bill Russell, before Michael Jordan, was considered by many the greatest player of all time. Jordan beat him with half the chips.
Maybe the most interesting part of all that psychologically that Charles just said was when he said it's not a rite of passage to win a championship. Now, you all know that Charles didn't win one in his career. But that didn't used to be the only thing. We've become very championship-centric. And maybe on some level, I have to take some blame for that. And Mike and I started talking about that a long time ago. And we started talking about how Michael had 6 and what it would take for anyone to try and be as great as him. I think Kobe was the reason we were talking about it originally. And then, of course, it became LeBron. And we weren't the only ones. But we've become very ring-centric. And if you're under the age of 30 or 35, you might be thinking, well, what do you mean we've become ring-centric? That's always been the most important thing. It really hasn't. I mean, yes, a championship was the most important thing, but it wasn't the only thing. It wasn't like there was either championship or failure. It wasn't like every player who didn't win a championship had a bad year or didn't have a great career. And we didn't generally judge how great a player was by how many championships they won. That really wasn't the way we used to measure these things.